My wife exiled me from my own home because she believed her sociopathic son's performance over my 3 years of devotion. 24 days later, she texted me asking if I was ready to atone and come home. I didn't text back. I met her for lunch, handed her an eviction notice, and played a video that made her 16-year-old golden boy scream in terror. I'm writing this from a hotel room that smells like stale cigarettes and lemon pledge. But honestly, it smells like freedom. Because 3 hours ago, I watched my entire life implode, and for the first time in a month, I'm not the one crying. Let's rewind to the night my life turned into a horror movie. It was a Tuesday. Mundane, right? I had just walked in from a 10-hour shift at the logistics firm I manage. I was tired, carrying takeout Thai food, thinking about nothing more than crashing on the couch with my wife, Elena. I opened the front door, and the vibe hit me instantly. You know that feeling? The air felt heavy, pressurized. Elena was standing in the hallway. She wasn't crying. Crying would have been better. She was shaking, vibrating with a rage so cold it froze me in place. Behind her, leaning against the banister with a terrified slouch, was her son, Caleb. Caleb is 16 going on 40 in terms of manipulation. He was holding an ice pack to his cheek. His shirt was ripped at the collar. "Get out," Elena whispered. It was scarier than if she'd screamed. "What? Babe, I just got home. What is—" "I said get out," she shrieked, her voice cracking. "Don't you dare take another step toward him. You monster. You absolute psycho." I dropped the takeout bag. Pad Thai splattered on the hardwood. "Elena, what are you talking about? I haven't seen Caleb in 2 days. I've been working late." "He told me," she spat, stepping between me and the kid like I was a rabid dog. "He told me what you did this morning before you left. He told me how you pinned him against the wall because he didn't do the dishes. He told me you slapped him." I looked at Caleb. He shrank back, whimpering, "Mom, please just make him go. I'm scared." But I saw it. For a microsecond, just a glitch in the matrix, his eyes locked with mine. It wasn't fear. It was pure, unadulterated amusement. He was enjoying this. He was winning. "I didn't touch him," I said, my voice rising. "I left at 6 a.m. He was asleep. Check the Ring camera. Check the—" "You turned the Wi-Fi off," she screamed. "He said you cut the power so the cameras wouldn't record. Get out before I call the cops, Mark. I mean it. I will see you in jail." The Wi-Fi wasn't off, but I checked my phone, no signal. The router had been unplugged manually. Caleb. I tried to reason with her. I tried to grab her hand. She recoiled like I was acid. "If you aren't gone in 5 minutes, the police are coming." I looked at the woman I'd paid off debt for, the woman I'd taken to Italy, the woman whose son I had tutored, driven to practice, and treated like my own blood. She was looking at me with pure hatred. So I left. I grabbed a duffel bag, threw in 3 shirts, my laptop, and my toothbrush, and I walked out into the rain. Yeah, it was actually raining. Cliché, but miserable. As I backed my truck out of the driveway, the house I bought 4 years before I met her, I saw Caleb in the upstairs window. He waved. A tiny, sarcastic little wave. That was 3 weeks and 4 days ago. The first week was a blur of whiskey and sleeping on my brother's couch. I was a wreck. I kept texting her. "Elena, please check the router logs. Elena, look at the timestamps. Elena, I love you. I would never hurt a child." Blocked. Radio silence. I felt like I was going insane. Was I the crazy one? Did I do it in my sleep? No, I knew I didn't. But the gaslighting was so intense, so absolute, that I started questioning my own reality. Then, around day 10, the sadness turned into something else. It calcified. It turned into a cold, hard knot in my stomach. I stopped drinking. I started thinking. Caleb didn't just wake up and decide to destroy me for fun. This was too specific. The ripped shirt, the bruise, makeup, self-inflicted, the cut Wi-Fi. This was a tactical strike. Why now? I started digging. I didn't hire a PI immediately. I'm a logistics manager. I know how to track things. I logged into our joint bank account. Access denied. Password changed. I logged into the cell phone provider account. I pay the bill, so I'm the primary admin. She hadn't locked me out of that yet. I pulled the data logs. Caleb's data usage was through the roof. 80 gigabyte in 2 weeks. But it wasn't YouTube or Netflix. It was upload data, massive uploads, and hundreds of texts to a number I didn't recognize. I hired a guy. Let's call him Zero. He's a digital forensic specialist my company uses for corporate espionage stuff. Expensive, but I didn't care. I told him, "I need everything on that phone. Legal or not, I don't care. I need to know who he's talking to." While Zero worked his magic, I called my lawyer. Not a divorce lawyer yet, my estate lawyer. "Who's on the deed to the house, Jim?" I asked, even though I knew. "Just you, Mark. We did that prenup, remember? Elena has no claim to the property or the equity accrued prior to the marriage." "Good," I said. "Draft an eviction notice. 30 days, cause, failure to pay rent, and malicious destruction of domestic tranquility. Make it sound scary." "Mark, you want to evict your wife?" "No, I want to evict my ex-wife." 2 days later, Zero sent me a file. It was a PDF, about 40 pages long. It was a transcript of a Discord server and a text thread between Caleb and his biological dad's brother, his cool uncle Rick, who lived in Miami. Reading those messages felt like swallowing glass. Caleb, 3 weeks ago. "He's saying no to the car again. Says 40K is too much for a first ride. What a loser." Rick, "Man, if you were here in Miami, you'd be driving the Benz. Your mom needs to wake up." Caleb, "I'm working on it. She's totally buying the scared act. I flinch whenever he walks in the room now. She's eating it up." Caleb, the day of the incident, "It's go time. He's working late. I got the makeup kit from Jenna. Gonna rip the shirt too. This is gonna be epic." Rick, "Make sure you cut the cameras first, genius." Caleb, "Way ahead of you. Once he's out, Mom says we might move to the condo, or better, we sell the house. She thinks she gets half. That's like 300K. We're coming to Miami, Uncle Rick." There it was, the motive, greed, boredom. A 16-year-old wanting a flashy life in Miami with his deadbeat uncle, and I was just the ATM standing in the way. But Zero found something else, something worse. He found a deleted video in Caleb's cloud. It was a practice run, a literal rehearsal. In the video, Caleb is standing in the bathroom mirror. He's holding his phone. He slaps himself in the face, hard. Then he checks the mirror. Not red enough. He slaps himself again, 3 times, until the skin is angry and welting. Then he rips his collar. He practices the whimper. "Please, Mark, stop!" he whispers to the mirror. Then he laughs. A cold, dead laugh. Too much? Nah, she's an idiot. She'll believe anything. I watched that video 5 times. I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt surgical. Yesterday morning, I finally got a text from Elena. "Elena, I've been praying. Caleb is still traumatized, but he's willing to try family therapy if you admit what you did. I miss you, Mark. But I can't have violence in my house. Are you ready to apologize and do the work?" The audacity. My house. Her forgiveness. I replied, "Let's meet. Neutral ground, the diner on 4th. 1 p.m. Bring Caleb. I want to apologize to both of you in person." Elena, "Okay, I'm glad you're finally taking responsibility." I put on my best suit. I shaved. I looked like $1,000,000. I walked into that diner carrying a leather briefcase. They were already there. Elena looked tired, bags under her eyes. Caleb looked bored. He was scrolling on his phone, wearing AirPods. He didn't even look up when I sat down. "Mark," Elena breathed, reaching for my hand across the table. "You look good." I pulled my hand back. "Elena, Caleb." Caleb took out one earbud. "Sup?" "I've done a lot of thinking these past 3 weeks," I started, keeping my voice low, calm. I realized that I never really understood the dynamic in this family. I was blind. Elena nodded, tears forming in her eyes. "It takes a big man to admit that, honey. I know you didn't mean to hurt him. Maybe it was stress. We can fix this." "I agree," I said. "We need to fix the error being my presence in your lives." Caleb scoffed. "So you're leaving? Cool. Send the alimony checks." I smiled at him. "Not quite." I opened the briefcase. I didn't take out divorce papers first. I took out an iPad. "I have something I need you both to watch. It's a short film, very moving." "Mark, what is this?" Elena asked, confused. "Just watch." I pressed play. The volume was loud. Thwack. The sound of Caleb slapping himself echoed in the booth. Elena jumped. On the screen, her precious angel was beating his own face and laughing. "She's an idiot. She'll believe anything." Elena froze. Her face went pale, then gray. She looked from the screen to Caleb, then back to the screen. Caleb wasn't bored anymore. He lunged for the iPad. "Turn that off. That's a deep fake. He made that with AI." I snatched the iPad back. "Sit down, Caleb, or I call the police right now and show them this. Filing a false police report is a crime. You're 16. You can be charged." He sat. He looked like a cornered rat. "Elena," I said, turning to my wife. Her mouth was opening and closing like a fish. "That was recorded 3 hours before you kicked me out, while I was at work. I don't..." She stammered. Caleb, what is that? He faked it, Mom, Caleb screamed, his face turning red. He's a tech guy. He made it up. And the texts? I asked, pulling out the stack of paper. Did I fake the Discord logs with Uncle Rick? The plan to sell my house and move to Miami? The part where you called your mother a gullible cow? I slid the paper across the table. The specific text was highlighted. Elena read it. I watched her soul leave her body. She read the words her son, the boy she sacrificed her marriage for, had written about her. She's so desperate for me to love her, she'll nuke her marriage. Easy money. She started to shake. A low sound came out of her throat, like a wounded animal. She looked at Caleb. You said he hit you, she whispered. He did, Caleb insisted, but his voice was cracking. He knew it was over. You wanted to go to Miami? She asked, her voice getting louder. You destroyed our life for a car? For Rick? Rick gets me, Caleb yelled, slamming his hand on the table. The diner went quiet. Rick isn't a boring corporate shill like him. And yeah, I wanted to leave. I hate it here. I hate you hovering over me all the time. The mask was gone. The sociopath was out. Elena looked like she'd been shot. She turned to me, tears streaming down her face, reaching out again. Mark, oh my God, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. He needs help. We need to go home and... Stop, I said, cold, final. I reached into the briefcase again. There is no we, Elena. You chose. You didn't ask me what happened. You didn't check the cameras. You didn't trust the man you slept next to for 3 years. You trusted a 16-year-old with a history of lying because it was easier than confronting him. I placed the envelope on the table. These are divorce papers, irreconcilable differences, and this, I placed a second document on top, is a formal eviction notice. Eviction, she squeaked. The house is in my name. Premarital asset. You have 30 days to vacate. The lawyer said I could give you less because of the hostile environment, but I'm feeling generous. 30 days. Get your stuff, get his stuff, and get out. Mark, please, she was sobbing now, creating a scene. Where will we go? I have no savings. I spent it on the lawyer for the assault charges you were going to file against me, I guessed. She lowered her head. 30 days, I repeated. I stood up. Caleb was staring at me with pure venom. You can't do this. I'm a minor. You're a criminal, I corrected. And you're lucky I'm just divorcing your mother and not pressing charges for defamation and emotional distress. Although, keep pushing me, Caleb. See what happens. I threw a $20 bill on the table for the coffee I didn't drink. Good luck in Miami, I said. I walked out. I wish I could say I felt triumphant. I wish I could say I pumped my fist in the air. I didn't. I walked to my truck, sat inside, and shook for 10 minutes. It hurts. It hurts like hell to know that the person you loved was so ready to believe you were a monster. But as I drove away, I saw them through the diner window. Elena was face down on the table, sobbing. Caleb was yelling at her, waving his hands, blaming her for messing it up. He wasn't my problem anymore. I'm spending the next month in this hotel while they pack. I hired security to watch the house so Caleb doesn't punch holes in the drywall or steal the copper wiring on his way out. My lawyer says I'll come out of this with the house, my retirement, and my dignity intact. I lost a wife. But I think, looking back at the red flags I ignored, I never really had one. I had a roommate who was waiting for a better offer, and a parasite she insisted on feeding. So, to anyone reading this, if your partner believes a lie about you without asking for your truth, let them go. Trust isn't about believing someone is perfect. It's about knowing their character well enough to know when something doesn't fit. Elena didn't know me at all, and now she has 30 days to get to know the real Caleb. I almost feel sorry for her. Almost.